Do you know the difference between YouTube long form earnings versus YouTube Shorts?
No, do you have an example from your earnings or?
This was on Twitter. I'm struggling to find a tweet right now, but this was 1 billion YouTube long form views versus 1 billion YouTube Shorts. And I think the one that had 1 billion YouTube long form views was like 50 grand or something like that. And then the 1 billion YouTube Shorts views is like $440.
I believe it.
Yeah. So,
you know, TikTok has a struggle monetizing, right?
I believe it.
They've had it for a long time. Their solution?
Shops.
E-commerce.
Shops.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's tough to monetize short form content because think about what you're training the person. You're training the person to just consume content really quickly, or if you don't like it, just skip to the next thing.
I don't remember anyone from watching Shorts. Nobody.
Really?
I don't remember anyone. Do you remember anyone?
Yeah.
Who? 𝗙𝗕𝗢𝗙𝗡𝗃?
No, I don't remember 𝗙𝗕𝗢𝗙𝗡𝗃. But I don't see those shorts because of TikTok and stuff like that.
Yeah, but so who do you remember from watching Shorts? I don't remember anybody.
I see a lot of people. Like I see your
Like?
friend Jeffrey something. What's his last
Jeffrey
name?
Wu.
Jeffrey Wu. I see him a lot on Shorts, by the way.
Huh.
Another person I see quite a bit on Shorts, Cody Sanchez.
Yeah, but these are people you know.
Okay, how about Alex Hormozy? I knew him first from
Alex Hormozy.
I knew him first from Shorts, not from in person.
Oh.
I knew him directly from it. It's not about, do you remember
I
someone
also
from
don't watch
Shorts?
these things enough, so I don't know.
Yeah, but it's not just about watching it enough. It's about the people have to be really popular. Like if you look at Cody and Alex and Layla, they're getting so much airtime, right? They're getting more airtime than people who have 4 or 5 times more following than them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's because their content is so engaging. So you're seeing it at a higher percentage. And because of that, it's just like, okay, cool. I remember these people and I know who they are.
I think we talked about the rule of 7, and now it's like the rule of 14. I think for Shorts, you need the rule like of more. Maybe they need to see you at least like 20 times or something to remember you.
Totally agree. And funny enough, I watch a lot of long form content on YouTube. I actually watch more long form content on YouTube than I do consuming Shorts. And typically the long form content that I'm watching on YouTube is interviews of financial people. Like an interview with Jamie Dimon or Andres Esteves, who runs BTG Pactual in Brazil. It's their version of Goldman Sachs. The guy's pretty, substantial position on the Forbes list. But there's a lot of financial people that I watch or learn about through YouTube, and I'll go through an hour video and I don't need to see them again. I know who they are and quite a bit about them just from that one video.
Because there's so many stories that you hear, there's so many interactions in that 1 hour that is infinitely more, in my opinion, infinitely more memorable versus a short.
That's the real problem. Most of these social networks want to push shorts because that's what people want to consume. But it's hard to push a lot of value in a minute. I'm not saying it's impossible, but in B2B, it's really hard to get to the meat of something and give tons of value in a 1 minute clip or a 1 minute 30 or however long, depending on the platform. YouTube Shorts still won't allow more than a minute. It sucks. Long form, for me, is still the best way to consume and digest information, at least in B2B.
You know, most people, when I spoke to Pat Flynn and Kevin 𝗔𝗕𝗢𝗙 about this, when they look at their views, Pat Flynn, he started this new Pokemon channel, has like 900,000 subs now. They don't even look at the short form views. They kind of disregard it. They just focus on the long form views. And I think a lot of YouTubers have gone in that direction because when you use Mr. Beast tool, I think it's called View Stats, you can see how many of your views are long form versus short form. So food for thought.
Dude, random question for you. I know you've been creating a lot of content for YouTube and the social networks. You've been creating broad content as well. And I think I texted you about this too. One of your guys started talking about dating and some of the other things involved in dating that some people would be okay with. Some people would be offended with.
Let's be honest. People are fighting each other in the comments.
Oh, they are?
Uh-huh.
Okay. How'd that go?
That video's ripping now. So, let me give you a hack. Here, this one's going to do well for sure, for real. Let's watch. So if you want to grow really fast on YouTube, there's for sure, I'll guarantee, I'll bet my life you don't know this hack. Well, there's one hack. So this video, when we first published this long form video, it was like dying. It was like 9 out of 10, right? Or 10 out of 10 on YouTube.
But you did it with another person?
Yeah, we did it with the relationship guy.
Did you make him a collaborator?
No, we didn't make him a collaborator. What do you mean collaborator?
Or if you add them too, then you do better.
What do you mean you add them?
Well, that's Instagram.
Yeah.
No, okay.
But you're close. Okay. So here's what you need to do on YouTube if you do an interview podcast and you want it to grow very quickly. So basically, the video was tanking initially, and then I sent the guest a text. I said, hey, are you willing to share this on your community tab? And so he shared the video on his community tab. At first, he was like a little cagey about it. Then he shared it, and then it just started ripping. And then from there, it just like we haven't looked back. In fact, it's accelerating now in terms of the views per hour. Yesterday it was like 100 views per hour, so now it's like 700 views per hour, which is a lot. And then now I know this video will probably get like over 100,000 plus views. And so it's using that community tab, because when you post to the community tab, it looks like you're posting it, right? So that's a little hack. And then anybody does a podcast with you, just ask them right after, hey, are you down to share this to your community tab?
So it's pretty much a collaboration for your YouTube. So,
so you're very close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen the same thing. And the only reason I know this is, one, you interview a lot of people. So I assume there would be collaborations, at least like on Instagram.
No, I wasn't doing it before.
TikTok.
I wasn't doing it.
None of them?
No, barely. Like, it's like, because people are actually cagey about doing the collab on Instagram, but the collab on YouTube is way easier. That's a way lower lift, because people don't know how that's considered a collab.
Yeah. Dude, when I get the requests, I just ignore all of them.
Yeah. I ignore like 99% of them. So
even from some of my teams, one of my team members, just even when like they add me to a story and they're like, I'm like, this is in Portuguese. I'm not going to share this.
So, okay, you just came out from Brazil and you spoke at a conference, and you had like, there's a one day where you had like 30 different stories, right? I'm like, that's not even Neil.
I probably had 200-300. Did you know Instagram limits how many stories you can have?
Oh, how many did you post?
I posted all of them, but they started removing some of them, and they started telling me I'm abusing a feature of sharing a story.
But was it you doing it? Or
yeah, I went through. It took me like a few hours to go through and add each story.
because everyone that's tagging you, you're just adding them all.
So I spoke at a conference called VTEX. It was massive. I don't know how many people were there, but thousands and thousands and
thousands. It looked like a 5,000 person.
More. It had to be way more.
Main stage, I mean.
Yeah, the main stage was massive. So depending on the country that you go to, like in the United States, people don't do it as much. Canada, they somewhat do it. But it depends on the country that you're going to. In places like Brazil or Middle East or Asia, you see them doing this really often. So I'll have 200, 300, 400 people just tagging me in a story. Post too, but let's just go with the stories. So then what I do is I go through every single person that does it and I add them to my story. All right. Over time, if you get a lot of these, Instagram does not like it, and they'll start cutting you off. And then you got to slow it down, and then eventually they let you do it. But I've seen my stories disappear because I keep adding more, and it hasn't been 24 hours from even the original story that I'm sharing, going on mine. And they just start deleting your older ones that you shared an hour ago.
Yeah.
But the reason I do this is really simple. And I do this for most conferences I go to, unless they're enterprise. So like yesterday, I did an event with the CMA, Canada Marketing Association, all enterprise brands that are like RBC, think of any big Canada company, they were there in the room. A VP of marketing, CMO, CEO, COO, president, etc. Places like that, you won't see them doing it as much. But when you're going after people who are mid-level at a corporation or lower, they'll do it all day long. And what we find is it creates a much more loyal community. They start following you. A lot of those people never followed you. They start following you. They start liking your stuff. They start commenting, even if it's in English and they don't understand it.
Yeah. So you're sharing it to engage with the community, and that's goodwill that comes back to you at the end of the day.
And for me, it's not about who views this story. It's about they get a message on Instagram.
Oh my God, Neil shared it. Oh my God.
Yes, and they really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because most people, I don't have a lot of followers, but I have enough where people are like, I can't believe you did this. I'm really happy and pleased. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it makes sense. By the way, those of you that are going to HubSpot's Inbound, Neil and I will both be doing a marketing school session there. Plus, we'll both be on different stages as well. So come hang out. It'll be fun. We have to plan out. There's actually a little session too that we have. Remember we had that last time?
No.
We had are
you talking about in the conference
The meet and
center?
greet at the conference center. That was ahead of the day that we spoke.
Yeah, not session. It was more so like where all the booths were. We just stood there and people came to ask us questions.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're doing that again. All right, real quick. I need to tell you about the group that Neil and I created called the Agency Owners Association. And this is a group that's similar to entrepreneurial organizations such as YPO or EO. By the way, Neil and I are both in YPO, but we thought it'd be really cool if we're able to create a group that's dedicated to agency owners to helping them scale. So you could be at 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures. We have different groups for different levels. All you have to do is go to marketingschool.io/agency. Again, that's marketingschool.io/agency. And you can go there to apply. And I will tell you right now what we're doing is there's an online community. We do calls every now and then. There's stuff that we share in there that we don't share publicly. And you can, at least with the online community, you can cancel at any time. So you can go there to learn more about it. And that being said, back to the video. Amazon has a new ad feature out. These are called non-endemic ads. Have you heard of this?
What do they do?
So this guy, 𝗙𝗕𝗢𝗚𝗓, shares this on LinkedIn. So he says, third-party cookies are on their way out and Amazon is in a very good position right now. With Apple already cracking down on third-party cookies on Safari and Google Chrome, phasing them out in 2024, Amazon stands to benefit majorly because they own such a massive audience and their ads and checkout are happening on the same platform. We're going to see more and more brands flock to Amazon to be able to access that data that they won't be able to access elsewhere. Possibly seeing companies without physical products advertising on Amazon because of the tremendous amount of data that they have about shoppers and shopper behavior on the platform. So that's coming down and it's called coming down the pipe. It's called non-endemic ads.
So funny enough, I didn't know the name, but I already knew about it. Amazon has marketing evangelists that reach out to us and they let us know about all the new stuff that come out months before. This one's been around for a little bit, but most people don't know what it is. You want to know what the coolest ad format that Amazon has?
What? Oh, shit.
Did you know that in their shows that they make, let's say they make a show with you, and it's about a zombie apocalypse and all this kind of stuff, and you're wearing Converse shoes, and you're on a table like this, and you're talking to someone, and you have 𝗙𝗚𝗡𝗚𝗚 water like I have.
Neil drinks rich water, guys. See, I'm just drinking regular water here.
What's inside? Erwan?
No. Filtered water, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eric sent me a link the other day being like, Erwan water is the best.
No, he's drinking low score water.
I am drinking low score water. What they can actually do is they can switch out this 𝗙𝗚𝗡𝗚𝗚 for Evian.
Oh.
And they can do it for impressions. And they can switch it out in the show or the movie or anything they produce. And they can do it mass quantity.
That's cool. You mentioned this before.
Yeah, not just for water, but for a lot of things in the movie or show.
Yeah.
That's the coolest Amazon ad product I've ever seen. Most people don't know about it.
Why did they buy MGM? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now they're going to do stuff with it. By the way, speaking of Amazon.
No. It's harder for them to do.
Or it probably can go back in time.
Yeah, exactly.
But
it's really hard for
forward.
Correct.
That's why they have all the capabilities now. All right, so I wanted to take a second to tell you about Leveling Up Founders. This is an event/mastermind for people doing 7, 8, 9 figures. These are founders that are doing that amount. And we've been doing this event for a couple years now. We've had amazing speakers, but more than anything, it's about the people. What I mean by that is like-minded people want to hang out with like-minded people. And this is the best spot to connect with people of a certain caliber. And we vet every single person that comes through. So if people are, even though they make a lot of money, but their character, we don't really align with that, we're not necessarily going to let them in. We did this event in Beverly Hills and it's happening in the beginning of August. All you have to do to learn more about it is just go to levelingup.com/founders. Again, it's levelingup.com/founders. If you want to hang out with amazing people, Neil, my podcast co-host, is going to be there. I'm going to be there. People like 𝗙𝗔𝗓𝗢𝗚𝗓, he will be there as well. And again, it's going to be a great time. levelingup.com/founders to learn more, and we'll see you inside. Speaking of Amazon, have you heard the Kindle and Oprah story before?
No.
Okay. So Kindle, when they were starting it, back in the day, Amazon didn't have any product. They didn't have any flagship product yet. And then Jeff Bezos was hardcore about, hey, we need to have like a reader. And people are like, is this product going to be a distraction? Whatever. It's going to be a waste of time. When they first launched, like it did really well. It sold out pretty quickly. But it did okay. It wasn't like crushing it yet, right? It wasn't until Oprah mentioned that the Kindle was her new favorite book that sales skyrocketed, and then from there, Kindle just took off, right? But the lesson with Kindle too is that sometimes, they were losing money on the Kindle. They started in I think 2004 or so, or maybe 2004. They didn't finish the project until maybe 2007 or 2008. The first year and a half, they would always go into these board meetings, and then the CFO would be like, Jeff, like, how much more money do you want to spend on this thing? And Jeff's like, how much money do we have to spend? And so this is when they're like really unprofitable and everyone's making fun of them, right? But like that's the amount of guts it takes sometimes to bet on something where you have no idea where it's going to go. But same story with the Fire phone. You probably don't even remember what that is.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
That did not work out.
That didn't work out. So
Kindle in the long run did not work out.
No, I don't use my Kindle anymore. But that also goes to show you the power of an influencer again with Oprah.
Yeah. Do you know why Kindle got crushed? You know what crushed Kindle?
I don't know. I just go back to reading books. But why?
The tablets.
I can't read on a tablet.
You can't.
No.
But a Kindle is the same thing.
No, it's different. Because the e-ink, it feels like you're reading like an actual book. It doesn't hurt your eyes as much. And the battery lasts forever. That's what made it revolutionary.
You can adjust the iPad settings on the monitor to make
it hurts after a while though.
Still for you? Even if you just use it in general for a long time, does it hurt?
Yeah.
I don't have that problem.
Well, I have LASIK. Maybe that's the problem.
I have LASIK as well.
Oh, you have better LASIK.
I don't know if I have better LASIK, but I think everyone's different. But the point I'm making is, if you look at the Kindle, I remember when it first came out, I wasn't the first one with this idea. I bet you Apple and others thought about it years or right when Kindle first came out. I was just like, this would be really cool if it was a thin computer like this and it had a, touchscreen and a keyboard and everything, and it could just be really easy to use for a computer.
Yeah.
And iPad pretty much did a better version of what I was thinking. And I wasn't thinking of it for Apple. They were thinking ahead of me. And that what's really crushed the Kindle.
But that is it for today. Please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Go to marketingschool.io/agency if you want to join the Agency Owners Association. That's a group Neil and I have to help agency owners grow. And yeah, we'll catch you later.